Now, your mother, is she from Philadelphia?
No, she's from Chester.
She's from Chester. Okay, okay. What's your mom's name?
Ronette.
Shout out to Ronette. What was your relationship?
She just had surgery yesterday, too, so.
How's she doing?
She's doing better.
Okay, excellent, excellent. How was your relationship with her growing up?
Oh, that was mom. That was Anchor. That was my mom. Man, my mom did everything and took us everywhere. And when I became an adult, I realized that she did the best she could with the age she was, 22. Like, I couldn't have done what she did at that age with 4 children. And she just made it happen. I mean, she really, I don't think we didn't lack anything. I mean, looking back, I can see where deficits were. But back then, I don't think we knew we weren't hungry.
Right.
I remember having to boil water to take baths. I remember that.
Okay.
But it was like, oh, cool, we get to boil water, the hot plate in the bathroom.
Right.
So now, like, you know, I'm like, all right, just boil some water and put it in the tub. Like, it wasn't.
You didn't know you were poor, basically. Yeah. It was like, she made fun of stuff like that, and you didn't even know.
I was inferior to anything.
Right.
It was like, all right, everybody, it's just the lights, you know, it was just, all right, the power's out. You just got to boil some water and, you know, to be back on tomorrow. And that's how it was. It was like, it was back on. Everyone loved her. Everybody. You know, she was another one that knew everybody and everyone liked her. But my mom was, she was one of the very nice, but she had heavy hands. Like, she would fight too. But I never saw my mom fight as growing up, but I knew her temperament. I could tell she ain't to be played with. Like, if she had to, she would. But then she just took care of us. I mean, she did what she had to do.
You and your mom were cool?
Yelling at us a lot. Like, none of that. The only thing my mom did I didn't like was she smoked cigarettes. Okay. I hated that. That was the only thing I didn't like. Yeah, we were close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, did you become a parent yourself?
Yes.
How many beautiful C's do you have?
3.
3. What are their age ranges?
13, 8, almost 9, and I'm sorry, 9, almost 10, and 8.
Okay, so 13, 9, and 8. Okay, so you got a bunch of teenagers or preteens in your house. Yeah. You know your parents and the way they raised you because you were there. What would you say are some similarities and differences between your parents' parenting style and yours?
I'm a lot like my mom because I'm not a yeller. My mom wasn't a yeller.
Okay.
My mom she really was like a friend that you respected, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like, she didn't, I'm your mother, do what I say. It was, you need to do this, and you just did it. So she carried the respect, but if she wasn't overbearing with the mothering thing. Me being the oldest and me being what she considered responsible and mature, she gave me more freedoms than she gave my other 2 sisters. So she and I had a different rule. And she'll say, I treated y'all according to your personality. So my personality was a little more laid back, so she gave me a little more rope. She's like, just go ahead. My other 2 sisters, she, you know, the one after me, she gave her no rope. So
do you feel like you and your sisters had like completely different childhoods?
Absolutely.
I tell people that all the time. You can grow up in the same house with somebody and have a completely different childhood than they do.
My mom told us that.
Or than they did, right.
My mom told us that. She said, all of y'all are going to view me in different ways.
Right.
It's just what it is. And it turned out to be true. And she's okay with that. You know, she doesn't, you know, some parents are very like, I did the best, I did this. My mom knew from the beginning, one of y'all not going to like me. Or, you know, one of y'all going to have a different view of how I treat, you know, how I raised y'all. But I did the exact same thing for everybody. You know, she did the best she could. I would say I got slighted a little more only because I was more understanding. but on the back end, I got more privileges.
Okay.
So whereas I might not have gotten the new sneakers or whatever, I was allowed to travel, or I was allowed to work.
Now, you mentioned that. You said your mom was playful and she was always up for adventure and experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a similarity with you. You like to take your kids places?
Yes. I think that's important to expose kids
Okay.
to environments.
Where have you taken them?
I've taken Florida. We haven't been out the country yet because I'm working on their passports.
Okay.
That's a goal. So I do want to take them to like Ghana, take them to someplace in Europe. Like I have plans to the islands, things like that. But in the States, mostly the East Coast.
Okay.
I'm taking them up and down the East Coast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, those are the similarities. What would you say is different between your parenting style and your parents?
I think I'm a little more affectionate.
Okay.
Than my parents were. Like consistently affectionate. And I think I talk to them as a group a little more. So, or my mom would talk to me because I was oldest and, she would share with me something. She wouldn't share it with the other ones. I talked to all three of them because I don't know their level of understanding. They may understand more than I think they do. So I try to talk with them about things they may be experiencing as siblings. So,
example.
Like their dad and I separating.
Okay.
They're experiencing that together.
So all three of them have the same father?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I know that when they get older, I know they may view it differently. But if I talk with them enough now, they all won't have different stories.
Okay.
They'll all say, okay, well, we all agree on this. And I talk with them because I want them to be close. I want them to to depend on each other. And I don't think that was enforced enough on me and my sisters.
Speaking of which, you also said previously that you run down stuff to them, credit cards. You talk about debt. You talk about
buying
school.
a house when you turn 18. That's going to be your graduation gift before you even go to college. I want them to be
really
financial. Yeah, I told my oldest, I said, I put them all on my credit card so I can start establishing their credit.
Okay.
And it helps keep me mindful because I know they're on it. So I pay my stuff on time too, so their stuff can be good. And I told my oldest, I said, before you mess your credit up or before you start making hasty decisions because you're 18, first thing we're going to do is go and buy you a house. And I say you can live in it or it could be an investment property. They don't have to leave me. They can stay. But you're going to learn business because that's something I wish I was taught, and I have to learn it now as an adult. So I want to understand business. College is not going anywhere. I don't think college is going anywhere.
Right.
And if you decide later you want to go, that's fine. But coming out of high school, going straight into debt is something I have a problem with. I was told you don't go to. I had an apprenticeship with 2 hair salons and one black owned hair school, and a girl I worked with who was an instructor who was going to have me as an apprentice so I can learn to do hair. And because the era I grew up in, it was, oh, you can't make money in that. You need to go to college. I've went to college. And now...
Where'd you go, by the way?
Temple.
In Philadelphia?
Yes.
Okay.
Temple University and Wilmington.
In North Philly?
In North Philly.
Okay.
Temple University and Wilmington University.
So, by the way, did you apply anywhere else?
Morgan State.
Okay, so you wanted to go to a HBCU?
I wanted to go to Morgan State.
In Baltimore?
Yes.
Did you get accepted?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I couldn't go because financial aid. I didn't know how to fill all that stuff out and get room and board. Because I was about 20. I didn't go right after high school. So I didn't really understand. I didn't really have anyone walking me through it.
Right.
And it was, to me, complicated. So I was at the community college and I got a scholarship to go to Temple. So I said, well, I'll just take that and I could still work and stay home. It was just easier. And when I went to Temple, I was African American Studies and Clinical Psychology.
Okay.
So I got the HBCU experience through the African American Studies department.
And people always say that Temple University in Philadelphia is as close to a HBCU in the public school as you're going to get.
As you're going to get.
Right,
yes.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was definitely a black program. It was very black. So I didn't miss out on anything. And my cousin at the time, he went to Morgan. So a few times I went down there and stayed with him. So,
okay.
I mean, I kind of got, and my cousin went to Spelman, so I went down there. So I got the college, the HBCU
the black college experience.
But, my situation was I had to stay and go local.
So for your kids, you're not really pushing college or black college for that matter?
I'm not right away. I want them to find some kind of skill or trade that they can do that with their hands. So they'll always be employable.
Now, ultimately, is it their decision?
No.
No.
They don't have a decision.
Got it.
But no, they want to. They're creative and they're smart. So I think if I instill in them now to start looking for something, they'll find their niche and what they want to do. So no, they need to do. I'm strongly encouraging a leap year and just that break and just figure out who you are. I mean, college is important for development, but I think if you get a skill, you can support and sustain yourself.
Okay.
So, and that's what's really important right now, being able to support and sustain yourself and pass something down. And that's what's I think, is missing. We're trying to push this academia on kids when half the stuff I learned, you could just go to the bookstore and get it. It's really to impress employers. Well, who are they impressing? You got to come and impress them. You don't have to go beg no one for a job. You work with your hands. You can create your own job. And you can hire people. So I remember when I graduated from Temple, and I promise you, I came home. I was staying with my grandmother, and I looked at the paper, and I said, wow. And my cap and gown, I'll never forget. I said, all that work for this piece of paper.
Right.
And the bills start coming in.
Right.
And I was still I couldn't afford them. So.
What year did you graduate from Temple?
2004.
04, okay.
Mm-hmm. So I don't want that for my kids,
Are you already noticing things in them that you see that they like?
My daughter is very creative artistically. So I think for her, she's designing.
Okay.
She's cutting up clothes, adding stuff. We're teaching her how to sew. So I think and she's always been creative. Always, been able to do something with her hands and just in artwork. So she already has the gift of handwork. So I just have to guide it a little bit to see what she can do. My youngest, I don't know yet with him. Okay. I think he's smarter. He's very smart, very, very intelligent and articulate. So I think anything I expose him to now, he'll eventually pick up. My oldest is interested in barbering.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
he has no problem finding an apprenticeship.
That's what I told him. Like, listen, dude, you could do barbering.
Right.
Like, all y'all can do barbering.
I'm quite sure whomever cuts his hair has no problem giving him some tips.
Well, I know someone that's doing it.
Right.
So he's running a junior barber academy, and I've been trying to figure out the logistics to get him to go. But I'm like, just get it now, and you'll always have a skill. So if you decide you want to go to college, okay, fine. You can make money. You don't have to take a job. You don't have to take time out your day to go to a job. You can have people come to you, and you can make a couple dollars. You can hustle. You can create a little business for yourself. So I just want them to have the entrepreneurial mindset. That way they're never stuck without a job, ever. Like, they can always find a way to support and sustain themselves.
Got it.